Good morning, everybody. Today we'll look into the first experiment. This is just on trial basis. I'm trying how does it go about. We'll be learning first for the first practical how to get used to NumPy. So I'm opening up a new notebook. This I'm taking a random value of let's say 18. It's a variable I have defined. NumPy is the package of Python for numerical computations. I've designated a variable called as scope center as 18. Now let us say we have a variable grades, and I'm using a function. Let's say np is the package under which I am declaring a variable grades. So np.arrange, that I am calling a method arrange, and note that it isn't double R ANGE, it is a single R ANGE, arrange. And let's say if I have in it 24, right? So what will be the output of this thing? Okay, so if we have grades, then we'll see that grades is an array from 0 to 23. So what does this method arrange do? It will generate an array with 24 elements in it, and all of them will be integer, starting from 0 to n minus 1, where n is equal to 24. Now let's say if I want to calculate the average of the array. This is just an example. You can have your own array on which you can execute this method. This I am defining a function. So def is the keyword to define a function. The name of the function is curve, and the parameter which it will require is grades. This array grades. Enter. You will see that now the cursor is not to the extreme left, but it is at a certain distance. So this is very important in terms of Python. It is called as indentation. So let's say if I want to evaluate the mean of the array grades, I just have to give mean. The name of the method is mean. So grades dot mean. Say curve underscore center minus average, and new grades. If your variable has got two words, then it has to be separated by an underscore. Grades plus change. And now I need to return something from the function. You can also return nothing, that is also fine. Now there is one more function called as clip. Clip is more or less like cropping that we do for photographs. So now I'll explain how does this work. Clip. So what does this say? Clip. What do I have to clip? Clip the value of the elements of new grades. मतलब न्यू ग्रेड यहाँ पे जो इवेल्युएट हुआ है ग्रेड्स प्लस चेंज. चेंज क्या है? कर्व सेंटर माइनस एवरेज. कर्व सेंटर इज 18. एवरेज क्या है? जो यहाँ से एवरेज कैलकुलेट होके आएगा मीन फंक्शन में से. सो इन द एरे न्यू ग्रेड्स यू हैव टू क्लिप the value of the elements. Lowest should be the grades, that is the original array का जो भी value है वो, and the highest value should be 20. मतलब your new grades should be between the old grades and 20. This is used when we use to neutralize the marks. Let's say I have given a very difficult test to you guys, and most of you haven't scored well, but if I want to bring or if I want to push all the grades in the same range, right? So this is one of the functions which can be used. Or I can make this as 23. The highest value can be 23. As you can see, the old highest value is 23. Maximum value is 23. Okay, ये हो गया. And then I am calling the function curve to be executed on grades and shift enter. So if I want to execute, I will hit shift enter. So if you'll observe, these are the new grades allocated, right? Here these grades might have been, let's say 5, 7 वैसे हुए, तो थोड़ा थोड़ा ये बढ़ के it has now come in some better range. Now here the point worth noting is this what do you say, this statement, if you'll observe, this change is being added to each and every value of the grades without implementing a for loop. Normally if we would have done this in Java or any other programming language, what would we have to do? We would have to have a for loop. For I is equal to 1 to I is equal to 24 I plus plus, मतलब on incrementing I. Then for each value of I, then to the value of grade you add change, and that value, the answer is allocated to new grades. So here we need not do that. This is called as vectorization. This is vectorization. Right, wherein this is a smart way of programming, wherein you make, you replace the loops. Right? So this is, there are many such parts of the experiment. This is one part of the experiment which you can also do it on your own data. On any one of the column you can apply this. Find out a value around which you want the maximum of those values. Right, here I have generated an own array. You already have a column into your data set. You already have a column. To that column you will apply this function. Right? To that column you will apply this vectorization. Okay. So now we move on to the next one. Okay, so the next topic that we will be looking at is the function shape and something called as reshape. So if I want to know the shape. Shape is nothing but something called as dimensions. So for new grades, if I call the function shape, shift enter. Okay. Okay, so for then let's say grades. First I'll reshape them. Let's say I am reshaping them as in I am making them go into okay, yeah. So now first I have reshaped the array grades. This is a one-dimensional array. It has got just one row and 24 columns. If I want to reshape this such that I can break it down into multiple arrays, so the function is reshape. So grades dot reshape 4. 4 is number of planes. Number of planes as in into how many number of arrays that you want to divide it into. And each of that plane will have 2 rows and 3 columns. As you can see, each of the plane or each of this array has got 2 rows and 3 columns. And if you have an array, just like you want to find out the dimension, then you can have grades dot shape. So that will give you 24. That is 24 total elements. So this is the reshape function. Now if I allocate this as grades dot reshape the 4 planes 2, 3. Just keep it in mind how many ever elements that you have in one dimensional array. For example, I have got 24 elements in one dimensional array. So the product of all these 3 terms should be equal to 24. 4 into 2, 8 into 3, 24. So now if I have it as 2 and then hit enter, I will get an array because cannot reshape array of size 24 into this shape. Its product is 4 into 3 is 12. So I will have to have the correct dimensions even if I want to reshape. So now grades has been reshaped. One good thing about Python is that you can always go back to the cells, make the changes and execute it again. It is like kind of a dynamic programming. Now if I call this, you see that it has been modified. Now if I want to find out what is the dimensions of any array of which I do not know, then in that case I can use the function shape. So now it will give me 4, 2, 3. Right? So this was shape and reshape, which again you have to try it on your data on any one of the columns. Next, we are going to learn about axis. Now, since that we have learned about shape and reshape, as you can see, using reshape, we have converted a one-dimensional array into something which is three-dimensional. Number of planes, number of rows, and number of columns. So this is three-dimensional, right? So it is very important to know about axis as well. The vertical axis, that is the number of rows, is axis 0. The horizontal axis, that is the column number, is axis 1. Right? So let's say we have got a table grades So if I want to find out the maximum in grades, I will have grades max. So that is 23. That is in the entire array of grades. This is the entire array of grades. In this entire array of grades, as we can see, 23 is the maximum number. Right? Now, if I want to find out maximum, let's say in this particular part of the array, or in along the rows or along the columns, if I want to find out the maximum out of a table, then let's say grades dot max axis is equal to 0. So what do I have here is 18, 19, 20 and 21, 22, 23. So out of these 4 planes, this one has got the maximum value. Hence this array is the maximum. So axis 0, just this thing. Out of these 4 planes, this one is the maximum. Now let's say let us change the axis and see. And just keep it maximum still. Axis is equal to 1. Shift enter. So if I put axis is equal to 1, what will it do? In each of these planes, or in each of these sub-arrays, let us call it as sub-arrays, which row has got the maximum value. So in this sub-array, 3, 4, 5 has got the maximum value. In this sub-array, 9, 10, 11 is the row which has got the maximum value. In this particular sub-array, 15, 16, 17 is the row which has got maximum value. And in this sub-array, 21, 22, 23 has got the maximum value. Now this was in alphabetical order. Let us try with an array which has got random values. Alright. So just a second. Okay, so I have typed a random array and named it as table. Now these all the same instructions, same functions will call again with the random array, and let us check the output, because here what was happening, the numbers were in sequence, so the idea isn't much clear. What will happen if it is a random array? Then let us try. First let us just say grades.max. Sorry, the new name of the variable is table. So table.max, shift enter. Okay, there's an error. Right, so the error was resolved. I missed out one bracket. So now table.max is equal to 9. Matlab from the entire table there is only one maximum value, which is 9. Now let us see.
Dubai is a place, Matuga is a place.
Grades dot
Means जगह.
max
एक जगह.
axis is equal to 0.
Palace means a tall
Shift
house.
enter.
Big house.
What it is table.
दादा जब आपे चढ़े हो गया था ना पैलेस में रीते सेम अच्छे
This table. So table and axis is equal to 0 means it will look for the in each of the columns. It will look for the highest value. In the first column, if you see, it is 5, 2, 1, 4. So amongst 5, 2, 1, 4, the highest one is 5. Amongst 3, 6, 1, 3, the highest one is 6. And amongst 7, 7, 1, 2, the highest one is 7. And from 1, 9, 1, 0, the highest one is, the maximum value is 9. Next, we look into grades dot minimum, wherein, sorry, let us look at maximum only first, where axis is equal to 1. So now what we'll be doing, we'll be looking on the so in axis 1, what are we doing? In each of the array, we are looking for a maximum value, and that is being displayed here. In the first array, it is 7. In the next array, it is 9. Third array, 1. And the next last array, it is 4. And the same thing can be done for minimum as well. So let us try, let's say table dot minimum. So the 0 in the entire table, the minimum value is 0. Again, table dot minimum, axis, let's say 0. So what is it giving us? In all of these columns, minimum value kiska hai? So in the 3 columns, the minimum value is 1, and in the last column, the minimum value is 0. And the last one, minimum, wherein axis the value is equal to 1, means each of the array will look for a minimum value. It will be 1, 2, 1, 0. Alright? So this also you'll have to try out. You'll have to work with axis. So now we move forward to something called as indexing. How do we index? How do we pinpoint a particular point in the array? So let's say if I want to find out name of the array in square bracket, let's say 2, 3. So what does it mean? The third element of the second array. Now in Python, the indexing starts from 0. So the first row will be 0th row, or the first column will be the 0th column. Then first, then second, and then last minus 1 row or column. So when I say table 2, 3, so that means I'm talking about, actually I'm talking about the third row and fourth column. Since the indexing starts from 0, so it is 0, the first row is the 0th row, then the second row is the first row, and then the third row will have the index 2. So it is 2 on usme, then third column is actually the fourth column, since the indexing is starting from 0. So it will be 0th, first, second, third. So according to the table here given, the value should be equal to 1. So let us just check what are the value. Yes, we are getting it as 1. Now let's say if I want the entire row, right? So I want the entire row with all the columns. So if I want all the columns of all the elements, then that particular parameter ke jagah pe I have to write 3. Right? And then if I press shift enter, this is what I will have. Similarly, if I have colon, comma 1, what does that mean? All rows and second column. Index is 1, that means if it is starting from 0, it is 0 and 1. So second column and all rows. So as you can see, that is our 3, 6, 1, 3 is the second column. Right? So that is how we can index. Then there is something also called as masking. We can also create a mask. Now let us look into something else. Example. np.linspace. Linspace is a function which will create evenly distributed numbers. Let's say from 2 to 89. From number 2 to number 89, I want to have
Divide back.
48 equally spaced numbers.
Yes.
From number 2 to number 89, I want 48 equally spaced numbers whose data type, that also you can mention here, whose data type is equal to integer. So I want all of them to be integers, and usko I can also reshape. Reshape matlab dimensions also I can decide as let's say 4 comma comma 4 comma 4,6 let's say. There's not much. Of 48. Okay, so 4 comma 12. I have to have, because the elements are 48. Alright, so that worked fine. And now if I see the value of numbers, shift enter. So this is my array numbers, wherein I have got the elements from 2 to highest value is 89, and in which may the values are equally spaced. Right? So now if I want to create a Boolean mask is something which will have only 2 values, either true or false. Boolean is what? It has got only 2 values, 1 or 0, या true or false, या black or white. I'm creating a mask. This mask is often used to extract the desired numbers from a big array, or if you have got a large data set. Usme se if you want to bring out just the desired values or your desired data, at that time you can use such mask. So what does it mean? Numbers. Then this percentage sign indicates modulus. Modulus matlab we are looking at the remainders. So what does this mask will contain? Mask will contain those numbers which on division by 4 will give you 0. Matlab the numbers which are divisible by 4. And then if we look at the value of the mask, it will give you something like a Boolean mask. False matlab jinka remainder is not equal to 0, and the value true will be given only for those values jinka value the remainder is coming out to be 0 after division by 4. And let's say if you want to find out those numbers, such numbers which are, so from the array I'll apply this mask. What am I doing here is, to my array numbers I'm applying the mask. So it will give me only those values wherein the value of the mask was coming out to be true. So these are the values which are perfectly divisible by 4. Something else also you can try it out here is, by 4 is equal to numbers. See now numbers in square bracket numbers, matlab we are working with the index now. So index, I want only those ones which are right, and then I can also call by 4, division by 4. Right. So here there are 2 things to be noted. First one is, this one took little more time, but this was completed by one instruction itself. The other thing to be noted is, यहाँ पे the reshape का dimensions is 4,12, and when you apply a mask on a array which is of the dimension 4,12, you get a single dimensional array, 1D array. So let's say by 4 if I want to find out the shape, it is 10. There are just 10 elements of by 4. Right? So even this you will have to try out on any one of the elements, one of the column of your data set. So next we are going to look into transposing. How do you convert a column vector into a row vector and a row vector into a column vector? So now let's say we already have an array. We should be looking for smaller, work with numbers itself. So if I have numbers dot t, it's as simple as that. The function transpose can also be called upon just by a single word t. So if you see now, the vectors have changed, the array has changed. Initially it was, the first array was 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, and now we can see that it is changed. Now the dimensions have changed. So now if I try out, okay, numbers is equal to numbers dot t, and then I call the function shape. It will be now 12, 4, which was initially 4, 12. We have shaped it as 4, 12. So now it has been transposed, and now the shape of this is 4, 12. You can also call the whole function called as transpose. Let me save it to the original. The transpose of transport gives us the original fields. There seems to be some problem. Okay, so this is a function that next we move on to sorting of data. Let us create our own array. Let's say data is equal to np.array. This function array will create an array of the given dimensions. Let's say the first one is 7, 4. Any random numbers I'm taking. Again, square. 5. Square brackets. Right? Yes. Now if I do not give the axis and I just have np.sort data, so what is it doing? It is sorting data in each of the arrays. See, as you can see, what is the dimensions of this data? It is 3, 3, 3. We can find it out here. Data dot shape. Sorry. This 3, 3. Right? Now if I give the axis np.sort data, then axis is equal to none. So when you specify that axis is equal to none, matlab you do not want to arrange the data in either of the axes, either vertical axis or row wise or column wise. You want to divide, you want to convert this two-dimensional data into a dimensionless, that is a one-dimensional data. Then this is what you get. All the elements are sorted. And let's say if you give a dimension, sort data wherein axis is equal to 0. So what is happening? In each of the columns, data is sorted in each of the columns. यहाँ पे देखो it becomes 1 7 8, यहाँ पे it becomes 1 2 6, and यहाँ पे it becomes 3 4 5, right? And now if I have np dot sort data wherein axis is equal to 1, shift enter. So now the data is arranged in each row wise. For us, the data is already arranged or sorted. For each of the rows, the data is already in, so it is the same thing. Right? Moving on. The next topic that we'll look into is concatenation. Right. Now here also let us look into smaller arrays first, without any variation. Normal arrays. The first array, let's say, is 1, 2, comma, and then 3, 4. Let's say this is my A. B is 6, 7, 9, 2. Right? Now if I have, now I need to concatenate. Concatenate is joining. Then if I have H stack, matlab stack up both the arrays in horizontal direction, that is H stack. And first if I have array A, then I have array B. So a moment. Okay, so I forgot to give one more braces. Maybe 2 braces. Yeah. So if you will see, the arrays are concatenated in horizontal direction. पहले A वाला array है, then B वाला array है. And this is your A and this is your B. Similarly, if we try np dot vertically stacking of now let's say B comma A. So first will be, again we will give vertical brackets. So पहले on the top will be the B array 6, 7, 9, 2. उसके नीचे आएगा 1, 2 and 3, 4. Okay, so that is vertical stack. Now if I want to concatenate 2 strings or join the 2 strings, it will be np dot concatenate A comma B. Shift enter. So it is simply the first array and then the second array. It is more or less like your vertical stack. But now if I mention the axis, concatenate A comma B, and then if I have axis is equal to none. So again it will arrange all the elements linearly. Alright, so this will comprise of your first practical. You will have to, these are certain basic functions in NumPy which you have to try it out on your own data. Here I have generated the data and I have worked with that. You will have to work on your own data. You have to concatenate arrays, you have to sort them, you have to work with the index, you have to generate mask and apply the masks on your data. Everything should be done on your own data. I will download this and post it in the MS Teams, from where you can access the sheet and you'll come to know what is to be done for the coming, and this will be your first practical introduction to NumPy.